what it's telling you in the moment, the actual moment. Okay, guys, we're a bit bearish. Why? Well, because of this, because of that, because of these technical analysis, because of price ranges, because of the miners, because of the fundamentals, because of, well, overall market sentiment. And I want to mention something else about sentiment in a minute. Check out this image, right? This is interesting, and I've always said this: follow the hype. Morning everyone, hope you're good. If you are new to the channel and you'd like to learn more, hit the subscribe button and press that bell button. 85% of you guys do not do it, so please make sure you do. Miners, BTC, possible manipulation. We're going down, guys. Get ready for it. Now, I know I'm going to be like, oh, hold on a minute, you're just talking nonsense. Well, I've been in this game long enough to know that how people think, and believe it or not, just because halving's coming in April, May time next year doesn't mean that we're going to rocket to the moon straight away. More often than not, you're probably going to find some downside manipulation, and that's going to create people to buy opportunities low. So there is going to be opportunities, but what I want to say first before I start this, educate yourself. Please just do not listen to YouTubers all the time. Learn to look at the chart yourself, look at the data, look at the fundamentals, look at the technical analysis. There's a lot out there. So this whole thing up here, make sure you check it out. 25% off. Use the code birthday. You get it on both courses. You'll learn a lot. A lot. You'll learn a lot, trust me. Now, on to Twitter. Cole Garner. I've seen him tweet before. Pretty good stuff. This has really got me thinking the other day, literally, like, I was thinking about this a few weeks ago. Miner profitability. I didn't really think too much about it because I thought, well, we're at 8K, 9K back then. Well, it's all right. But as the network grows, the difficulty adjustment gets higher. It gets quite costly, and not everyone's that clever when it comes to electrical costs. So we're going to talk about a few things. Now, this is really good. This is to do with the hash ribbons. It's getting quite low. When it goes below, it's kind of like the MACD. It's kind of like a moving average. When it goes below a certain region, it's then non-profit, which is a concern due to, okay, let's talk about it, miners. Miners, you got two different types of miners. You got the old G's. The gangsters, the old ones, the ones that have been around since day one. Still mining, big facilities, lots of profit, good amount of power to kind of keep them running, and they'll probably carry on running no matter what. That's how good they are. Then you got the other generation of miners, the ones that will probably shit the knickers and dump the market because they've got a little bit of a stop in terms of profits for a bit. They're not the stackers. They're the problems. They're the ones that will drop the price. They're the newer breed that will go, literally shit themselves. Right, big problem with that is we're going to drop the market if that does happen. So this inversion is going to happen. It's getting quite close. So it's a bit like last year. Last year I was adamant we're not going to go below a certain range. We did, because the miners actually sold. The hash power went, and yeah, it made a right mess for a bit. So that's number one, okay? But this is an absolutely brilliant thread, and I'm going to leave the link below. So, miner capitulation. Small miners get backed into a corner when BTC is low, and the generation of mining hardware then becomes obsolete. So basically, it's not making any money for them, so it's pointless doing it. It's a vicious cycle. Panic sell, price dumps, longs get squeezed, stop losses cascade, high leverage markets, the likes of BitMEX, the likes of Bybit. They're all here, and the biggest problem with that, you've got a massive domino effect. When stop losses are hit, liquidations are hit, and it creates a massive, massive problem. So be mindful of that when you're playing around with this sort of game. Where does it end with strong hands? Well, this is a way to think, well, where could we go? Now, this price range, by the way, if you're wondering where it is 6,400. It's a real strong possibility that we're going to go to 6K again. Real strong. And I honestly feel that anyways with the technical analysis, when you look at where we've been over the course of the year, the China surge and where the price could fall, Well, that's a natural stopping point, but I actually think we could go even lower. And you could argue 4K just below here. So don't rule it out. And I want to mention something else in a bit. Before I forget though, let's go through this thread because it is quite good information. The inversion hasn't happened and we're lucky. Hash rates recover before capitulation start to snowball. We could go quite low. We could if there's a big massive load of momentum. But you've got to remember, a lot of people now are starting to use leverage platforms opposed to investing in ICO. So that snowball effect could actually get quite big. Large context, spelled it out a month ago, highly recommended you reading that. It's a good read that, by the way. Just to glance through it. A lot of the fib stuff down to like certain bottoms, 3,100 being one of them. And, you know, all of this is interesting. It basically states that, well, possibly the bottom might not even be in. So check out that as well. But the hash rates are interesting. You've got to look at this and there's all kinds of certain elements to think. But my main thing of my own opinion is simple, right? When you consider where we've been, now I'm going to put another BTC chart on just so you can see it. Now, let's just zoom out a bit. Okay, obviously, mental. When you think halving, we halved, obviously, 2016. I don't think we're going to see a... It's like this. Halving happened in 2016. 2017, end of 2017, we saw the fruits of that. That's a strong possibility. History repeats, we know that. But what I'm going to say is this. There's a strong possibility that we could get driven down a lot lower for other people to buy in, which would indicate the miners falling over again. It'd indicate lower support being hit again. So always have that in the back of your mind. Don't be buying Bitcoin because it's 8K. Ooh, it may never happen again. Don't listen to those bulls all the time. Listen to what is telling you in the moment, the actual moment. Okay, guys, we're a bit bearish. Why? Well, because of this, because of that, because of these technical analysis, because of price ranges, because of the miners, because of the fundamentals, because of, well, overall market sentiment. And I want to mention something else about sentiment in a minute. Check out this image, right? This is interesting, and I've always said this, follow the hype. Search engines are slower. No one's searching for it. YouTube as well. I'm struggling right now to get views to my channels for certain topics because no one's actually looking for them. There's no hype. And I'm seeing random videos of mine, randomly, just pop because of all of a sudden that coin's just done something. It just happens. So follow the hype. We've had over 20 million roughly in about 4 days period when China was like, oh, by the way, guys, this blockchain malarkey is really cool. Let's innovate it, right? It went, poof, it flew. It went over 40% in 1 day. Hype dies down. What's happened? Well, we went from here. Cool. That was momentum. We dropped. Went from there up to here. Very, 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 very fucking fast. What's happening now? We've dropped again. Momentum needs to carry on. You need big mo. Big momentum. Consistency. We need it to happen. But we haven't got that. We do not have that. So you cannot be going, oh, because of this technical analysis pattern and this larky wedgie, it's going to go to 20k. Fuck off, is it? It's not. You need the hype. You need miners. You need the fundamentals on your side. And you also need buyers, sellers. You also need people to search for it and actually be excited about it. But we're going lower. Simple as that. So there's going to be big opportunities to buy in these regions again, I believe. That's my personal opinion, not financial advice. Now, I want to talk about one other thing, that there could be massive opportunities right now if we do fulfill that range. Why? Well, your BTC dominance is going to drop off a cliff. Basically, that's what's going to happen. So this here, this old trusty little thing, that's an old little bit of TA. Yay. That's old. Sorry. Kind of right though. 165-day cycle. It's kind of come down. But if this drops, okay. Now, remove that. If we do drop, right? Imagine if we do. Okay, cool. Just think of that. Your altcoin's going to go up in Satoshi value. That does not mean you're going to make USD values. Probably not. But what it will probably mean is your BTC portfolio growth worth will be a lot higher. So that would indicate if you are holding altcoins, you can sell into BTC. you can hold your BTC for the longer term and just sit on your hands. So, for example, me, I hold VeChain, I hold XRP, and I got a bit of Ethereum, okay? Just floating around. Don't care. It's all profits from back in the day, just sitting on it. They're very, very low right now in BTC value, but I know if I click on this chart, well, we've been to higher heights. Even at the start of this year, when you consider it, if I go to the 3 daily chart, you can see here, even if we go up to the likes of December last year regions, right, which was when BTC was traditionally quite low, these were quite high, I could double what I've got in terms of BTC. I can sell up there and have a lot more BTC to sit on for the longer term and be a bit more stable in my investment. You know, that helps. Same again for VeChain, just to kind of highlight the point. When BTC's been high from this point here, that's been low. We're starting to pop up here right now on VeChain, which is quite good. I've just recently had a 90% trade, which was nice on an average down. I sold it into BTC to keep that. But ultimately, if we do carry on going up a little bit, you know, these are big moves. And you may never even notice this happening because you're probably too channeled in USD. So make sure you look at the other side of your portfolio and go, well, BTC, I'm actually down a lot. However, if the BTC dominance goes down, if BTC goes down in terms of price, well, I could be making some BTC in the process. I could probably sell when BTC reverses, possibly 2021, with halving speculation hype and probably interested people back then, or in the future even, you may have a much bigger payday. So that's today's video. Sorry it's doom and gloom, but we are going down, I think. That's my personal opinion. I think 7.3 is going to get tested at least, and from there on, who knows. But if the miners do decide to turn off certain ones, well, it's going to dump the market, and you're going to see that cascading effect of high leverage, stop losses, and people flapping like fuck, because people have bought really high, and you've already seen that with why things are pumping randomly. Ciao.